Hello students, welcome to our channel. We are going to start economics, CBSE class 12 chapter 4. Chapter is poverty from the Indian economic development part. Complete analysis of the chapter with important questions and informations. Listen till the end to understand the chapter clearly. The poverty. This chapter, first of all, before going to start, we have to understand what is poverty. Now, the definition of poverty. Poverty is inability to fulfill the minimum requirement of life. The minimum requirement means, for example, our food, our shelter, and also our clothing. These are the minimum requirements. At the same time, apart from this, we have to get these facilities like water supply, like our education, and also our health and hygieneness. This all together, when there is an inability to cope up this type of facilities, this situation is called poverty. Now, next is we have to understand what are the different types of poverty. See, now poverty is two types. One is absolute poverty, one is relative poverty. So, if question comes, what are the different types of poverty? Absolute and relative poverty. Now, so what is absolute poverty? We have to understand. Absolute poverty means those people are BPL, below the poverty line. That is called absolute poverty. The next question is that what is relative poverty? In case of relative poverty, we compare one person to another person, or one region to another region, or one country to another country. Say for instance, if one person has got car, another person has got scooter, so the person who has got car, he is relatively richer than the another person. So that's why it is comparing with other person or region or the country. So the types of the poverty already clear. So students, any doubt? Okay, no doubt. Okay, so follow with me. Next we'll discuss about the particular this categories, categorizing the poverty. How we can categorize the poverty in different categories. So this poverty we can categorize in the following way. You see the diagram here given. This diagram, if you see, first of all, this is the poverty line. This is the poverty line, and this diagram shows that always poor. Who are called always poor? First one is the category is the poverty category always poor. Those who are BPL, below the poverty line, they are called always poor. Okay, and next is the usually poor. In case of usually poor, they are like casual workers or casual labor. So why they are usually poor? Because when they are getting job, they are providing they can provide their food and their drinking water and everything. But sometimes they are not providing. They are called usually poor. So combining these two, always poor and usually poor, is called chronic poor. In your examination will come, what do you mean by chronic poor? So you have to write that combination of these two is called the chronic poor. Next you see the churning poor. What do you mean by churning poor? You see the diagram. Churning poor means those people are that to and fro motion. Sometimes they are above the poverty line, sometimes below the poverty line. Okay, so what is the example? The example is, we can say, those are the seasonal worker. Those are the seasonal worker or the small farmer. That is the example, the perfect example of the churning poor. And next coming the occasionally poor. Who are called occasionally poor? You see, occasionally poor are not the poor actually. That is called bad patch of luck. What is bad patch of luck? Bad patch of luck is sometimes when someone invested money in share, and because of some unfavorable condition, share market is down. So he is now facing problem. That is called the occasionally poor. That's why they are called occasionally poor. So now churning poor and occasionally poor combinedly called transient poor. In your examination may come, what do you mean by transient poor? So then you write down the answer, what I say. Now next is never poor. Those who are always rich, millionaire, billionaire, okay, they are called the never poor or the non-poor. In India, we can see the different category of poor, and I have explained all the different types of categories of poor. Now next we will go, what is poverty line? I said that poverty line, what is poverty line? Poverty line is a divider between APL and BPL. Very simple. What is poverty line? It is a divider between BPL and APL. Clear? Now we will go. Then how to determine the poverty line? How to determine the poverty line in India? How we determine who are BPL and who are APL? Okay. Now see the system. First of all, in that case, I will tell that this system came in the mind of our one freedom fighter and renowned person, Dadabhai Nauroji. He took the example of the prisoner per day expenditure, and he compared with that expenditure, and this minimum expenditure for per head, he said that it is called the jailer expenditure, basis on the jailer expenditure. Those are living in the prison. So this type of system is not prevalent nowadays. The present government, the system they are following, that is called these two ways. One is MCI, one is MPC. What does it mean? One is the minimum calorie intake, MCI, minimum calorie intake, and another is MPC. It is on the basis of rupees. MPC means monthly per capita expenditure. These two systems you learn properly. It will come in your examination. Now again this MCI and MPC divided into two segments. One is rural segments, one urban. Those who are living in the rural area, they should provide for them 2,400 calories per day. And those who are in urban area, they require 2,100 calories per day. If they are below that to provide this calorie, then they are BPL as per our criteria of this country. Next is that it is called monetary value, in the value of money. That is 816 fixed for the rural areas people. The amount per month per head, if it is 816 below, then BPL. In case of the urban areas, those who are below 1000, they are called the BPL. That is the system. But apart from this, the scholars, they suggested different system. In your examination, mainly in your book, mention these two particular system, and other system I am mentioning. That is called poverty gap index. Poverty gap index was an alternative method to find out the poverty level, and another is that is called a squared poverty gap index. Okay, it is basically a little bit difference of these two. And another is Sen's index. What is Sen index? You know Amartya Sen, the Nobel laureate, famous Nobel laureate. He got the Nobel Prize due to his contribution on economic welfare. He suggested this particular system. In this regard, I am giving some further information. Always you will keep in your mind UNDP. UNDP, United Nations Development Program. They are the global channel of determining the development or the progress of the country. And our country, NSSO, what is that? That is called National Sample Survey Organization. All the data collected by them. In this way, our country 2019 ranked 129 out of 189 countries. So it is a further information for you. Like our poverty gap index, after that the square poverty gap index and Sen index, and also that our rank 2019, that is 129 out of 189. So it is the satisfactory development. Now next we'll discuss our causes of poverty. why this poverty prevail in India? What are the reasons behind? Now see, if you look back, we'll see that our, first of all, number one, low capital formation. Low capital formation means actually capital formation really depends on the per capita income. And when there is per capita income is less, savings less. When savings less, then their capital also less. When capital is less, investment less. When investment is less, then the industry also will be very less number, and there will be unemployment problem, and it will create the poverty. It is called vicious circle of poverty. So first of all, we have to understand low capital formation. That is the main reason you have to explain. After that, a lack of infrastructure. What is infrastructure? You see, students, mainly infrastructure two types. One is social infrastructure, one is our economic infrastructure. Social infrastructures like schools, colleges, etc., and our economic infrastructure like banking system, etc. These two are very important for the development. Our country is lagging behind in this field. That's why poverty is prevailing in our country. Now next is lack of demand. In economics, demand means the desire plus purchasing power. Desire plus purchasing power. So in our country, we do not have purchasing power, though we have desire. So the demand is less. We cannot accept demand as a desire. Purchasing power if not added with that. Next is pressure of population. So pressure of population, I can make you understand very easily. You see China density of population till to date that 153 per square kilometer, whereas India 464 per square kilometer. So you can understand the density of population, we are far more ahead than China. Huge population pressure. Due to that causes the next step, unemployment problem. The serious problem in our country, unemployment problem. So many people are jobless. They cannot join them with the production process and cannot help the country to go ahead. So next is causes of poverty is lack of social welfare network. The lack of social welfare network means, like for example, our not only the per capita income, other facilities like education facility, like our electricity, water supply, etc. This type of facility is not enough for our society. So lack of social welfare network is there. These are the reasons for the causes of poverty. So if the question comes, what are the causes of poverty, then you will explain this point. Next, you see the government approaches to combat poverty. That means what are the steps taken by the government to elevate the poverty level? So government approaches in three ways. First is growth-oriented approach. Number two is policy and the policies and the programs oriented approach, and is basic needs oriented approach. These are the three approaches. Now let's see one by one. We'll go. First of all, growth-oriented approach. Mainly it is given the focus on GDP, our gross domestic product, improvement of this GDP, our three sectors production to improve there. After that, PCI, per capita income. These two are very important. This is the first approach for the growth-oriented development. Now next, it is called policies and programs. So in order to elevate the poor people, the poverty level, to combat with that, government started different policies and programs to help the poor people in the village and urban areas, or the rural or urban areas. Now first of all, REGP, that is a Rural Employment Generation Program. It was started 1st April 1995, and the main target was to create job for 2 million village and urban peoples, and under the KVI means the Khadi Village Industries. Now next started PMRY, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. It was started 1993, and the objective was to provide 1 million people, those are the educated and unemployed, for them job. Next program, PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. This program is the combination of REGP and PMRY. It was mainly that mainly the credit linked subsidy based program started 2008, giving loan to the poor people living in the rural areas and the villages to start their self-employment system. Now next is food for work system. That is a scheme or program started by government, mainly the most backward districts, 150 districts are chosen, and they started 2004 this program. And next program is Manrega, a very much important program. Manrega means Mahatma Gandhi National Regional Employment Guarantee Act. This is Guarantee Act, means the people, poor people, those unskilled labor in the rural areas, they can register their name where this scheme is implemented, and they will get 100 days work with minimum age, so that they can earn at least some money to start something new for their self-employment. These are the different policies and program you can get in your examination to write, and then you write down these things, and these are the main important programs. And one information for the Manrega, that is 2018 and 19, due to this Manrega program, 5 crore households got the benefit from that. So Indian government, trying to uplift the poor, the utmost effort they are exerting over there. And next is basic needs program, that is oriented program. What does it mean? Basic needs, like our public distribution system, our ration shop, or the fair price shops are using by the government. From the buffer stock, they are supplying to the poor people in time of crisis. Now, next is ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme. What does it mean? It means that those people are poor, the children, they can get free education. At the same time, combined with that, MDMS, midday meal scheme, they will get the food from school. So it is mainly the nutritional drive for the government. And next one is VAAY, means Valmiki Ambedkar Awad Jagda. What does it mean? Infrastructural development. Means the poor people, they will get money from the government to make their house. Government is helping in this way. So education and also a necessity, our housing and also the food. Government is trying to give these basic needs to the people. So students, these all from this chapter I discussed, thoroughly analyzed. Now students, our online classes is going on, and this admission for this class going on. You can dial to join these classes from class 5 to class 12. Contact number is given, and this particular organization is run by the experienced and all board examiners. So you just dial and contact quickly, and at the same time you don't forget to subscribe, share, and to like our channel, so that I can provide more videos to help you all. And you just press the icon, bell icon, and to get the notification. So thank you all. Wish you all the best.